From the leading lady finding the destruction of Fraser's Ridge funny, to Sam breaking down Jamie's major character development. Here's what Sam Heughan and Katrina Balfe have said about Outlander Season 7. The intensity was at an all-time high in the third episode, as Jamie and Claire lost their home to a massive fire. But guess what? The actors found it funny. It all started in episode 2, when Wendigo Donna went all crazy, trying to get those gemstones from Claire, and accidentally set the Frasers' home ablaze in the process. Episode 3 picks up there with Jamie, Claire, and the whole of Fraser's Ridge working together, scrambling to save what's left of their house. When asked about filming that pivotal scene, Heughan and Balfe had one word to describe it: funny. They were running around with buckets of water in their heavy costumes, trying to put the flames out. Balfe couldn't help but laugh, saying that it wasn't the easiest thing to do. She hinted that there was someone who struggled with the task, and although she didn't reveal the name, Heughan gave her this knowing look, teasing some secret behind-the-scenes shenanigans. But once they were done laughing, the gravity of their situation became real. Balfe recalled how saying goodbye to Jamie and Claire's North Carolina home was like saying farewell to a real character. They'd been filming in that house since season 4, and it had become their second home. Heughan chimed in, recalling how sad it was to see the house turn into a hollowed-out shell the next day. But the destruction of the house was very important for the plot, because it brought the big mystery full circle. Remember the news Brianna and Roger came across, predicting the couple's death in a house fire in January? Well, as they watched the flames destroy their home, Jamie and Claire realized they defied fate. By destroying the house by themselves, using Claire's ether and Brianna's matches, they changed history and dodged death. But the fire isn't just a game changer, it sets them in motion. Balfe hinted that Jamie and Claire are hitting the road once again, just like they did in season 1, and it's an exciting new chapter for her. But while the end of the Fraser's Ridge era was heartbreaking, there was a major bittersweet moment in the episode before this tragedy. It was Brianna and Roger's newborn daughter, Amanda. The family welcomed the little one at Fraser's Ridge. It was supposed to be a moment of pure joy, but Claire noticed something alarming. Little Amanda had a life-threatening heart issue, which left everyone in fear. Their only hope lay in traveling back to the future, where modern medicine could save the little girl. But going to the future meant that they might never see Claire and Jamie again. Variety spoke to Katrina about the possibility of their families parting ways forever, and the star talked about the roller coaster of emotions that her character Claire experienced. From the absolute joy of welcoming her granddaughter, to the fear and worry when they discovered the baby's health issue, the woman was all over the place. It felt like a final farewell, and it left Claire and Jamie all alone. From this point on, it's just the two of them against the world. Katrina hinted at some massive changes in their relationship. They've had 2 blows in a row, and let's face it, all they have left is each other, and this new nation that's forming around them. Katrina talked about how Jamie and Claire are determined to do right by the next generation so that they can create a better future. But without each other, they're absolutely nothing. Sam explained how Jamie knows it deep in his soul, the void Claire would leave if she weren't by his side. He admits that he can't survive without her, so this separation from Bri and Roger, as messed up as it is, actually makes them stronger. But it also means there's a lot more at stake. Even though Brianna, Roger and their little ones aren't physically with them anymore, they're still part of their family, and Jamie and Claire have this burning desire to make their presence count. They want to help shape the country they're living in, which gives them the strength to face all the battles coming their way for the rest of the season. They need to make sure history plays out, just as Claire knows it will. So Jamie and Claire are diving headfirst into the Revolutionary War. Things are about to get real. They've always tried to change the course of history, like they did at Culloden and Prestonpans. But this time, Katrina explained that no matter what they do, the war has a mind of its own. Jamie's switching sides, trying to end up on the right one, since this battle feels bigger than anything they've ever faced before. But that's not all. With war on the horizon, everyone's worried about young Ian, including Jamie. Sam explained how this season, You get to see things from different points of view, which means that you'll follow young Ian on his own journey. And trust me, he's got some serious trauma to deal with. Right in the middle of these personal battles, Ewan mentioned how the show highlights different factions, all of which are involved in the Revolutionary War. Apart from the British and the regulators, there are several tribes and their allegiances involved, and it's wild to see how the war affected different people. Katrina said that as an Irish girl, it's been fascinating for her to learn about the origins of American democracy and how people fought for it. Through these characters, people are getting a glimpse into a whole other aspect of the people who were part of the revolution, making the storytelling much more authentic than ever before. But while Jamie and Claire are surrounded by the American Revolution, Bree and Roger are facing their own set of battles. Richard Rankin, who plays Roger, recalled how it all went down. After what felt like forever, the characters were finally in one place, and they all had each other's backs. But just when they'd found their groove, they had to say their goodbyes and make their way back to the future. By this point, Rankin explained how Roger and Brianna had embraced the 18th century as their home. They finally felt like they belonged, but then their daughter's birth came with a life-threatening complication, and they were left with no choice but to leave. Sophie Skelton, who plays Brianna, opened up about the most heartbreaking scene when they found out about little Mandy's condition. The new mum was losing her support system left and right. Hearing that your own child's life is hanging by a thread has got to be painful. To make matters worse, they had to leave the people they thought could help them through it, which was a nightmare for the woman. But she explained that while the goodbye scene was brutal, Bree and Roger's bond has never been stronger. They draw strength from each other in the face of this insane situation because there's this urgent drive within them now. They're in survival mode. They need to protect their child at all costs, even if it means traveling through time. But with these massive changes in circumstances, one character is going through some serious growth, and it's none other than Jamie Fraser. So far, his journey in Season 7 has been wild. In the beginning, he was struggling to make his way back to Wilmington, where Claire was locked up, fueled by his love for the woman. Sam recalled talking to Lisa Clark, the director who worked on the first 2 episodes, and they both agreed on just how cool Sam's character was in these episodes. When things seemed hopeless, Thomas Christie jumped into the scene, and things got better for the couple. Jamie finally got a chance to relax, even if it was short-lived. But how can the man rest when he's got so much at stake? It's not just about losing Claire again. He also feels super fragile since he's much older now. On top of dealing with the loss of his one true love, he's also dealing with the situation of his illegitimate son, William Ransom. Ransom joined the British Army as the American Revolutionary War kicked off, and Jamie saw him wearing a red coat, which was a massive blow for the guy. In the trailer for the season, Jamie made a promise to Claire that he'd never face his son across the barrel of a gun, because he has a lot of love for him and has always wanted to be part of his life. But will he be able to keep that promise? Jamie's on the side of the rebels fighting for freedom, but with Lord John Grey and William on the other side of the battle, things are about to get very complicated. So there you have it. From breaking down Jamie's major character development to the leading lady finding the destruction of Fraser's Ridge funny. That's what Sam Heughan and Katrina Balfe have said about Outlander Season 7.